Hi. Manila, the capital of the state of Philippines, one of 16 cities forming the capital region of the country. Subway Manila. Quezon City. In the northeast. San Juan and Mandaluyong. In the east. Makati. In the southeast. And Pasay borders on the cities of Navotas and Caloocan. In the north. In the south. In the west it is washed by waters of the Manila Gulf. With the population of 1,660,714 people according to a census of 2007, Manila, the second largest city of the country after Quezon. Having the area only 38.55 km, Manila is considered the most densely populated city of the world. It is located on the island of Luzon, at confluence of the River Pasig with the Manila Gulf South China Sea. This city was founded on June 24, 1571 by Lopez de Legazpi. The oldest district of the city, Intramuros, literally surrounded with walls, was built by the Spanish administration at the end of the 16th century. Mainly Spanish-speaking families lived in its walls. During World War II underwent destruction, but it is restored. Its modern population, about 5,000 people. During history Manila endured many wars, therefore many architectural, historical and cultural monuments are destroyed. Now Manila, the large cultural center where several universities are concentrated. On the southern riverbank Pasig there is the old town, the area Intramuros. It is founded in 1571, and in spite of the fact that in the years of World War II it was partially destroyed, keeps some examples of old Spanish architecture. First of all, it is a fortification which construction began in 1590. The entrance to Santiago Fortress recovers the memory of the Spanish presence. In 1595 Manila became the capital of all Philippine archipelago and also the center of the province which originally occupied almost all Luzon. Etymology. The name from Sanskrit Nile, an indigo tree. The Tagalog prefix ma indicates abundance of this tree, that is, the place where there are a lot of indigo trees. Mind, the Philippine name of the city, comes from a phrase mind that means, where find indigo. Nil there is from the Sanskrit word of Nile, which belongs to indigo and, as a result, to several plant species from which it is possible to extract this natural dye. Mind the name probably it was given because of the plants giving indigo which grow in the area adjacent to the settlement, but not because it was known as the settlement which traded in indigo dye. Extraction of dye from indigo became important economic activity in this area only in the 18th century, through several hundreds of years after the settlement of Manila was based and called by this name. A primordial Tagalog word for an indigo plant, tayum, it is possible to distinguish in several toponyms on Philippines. Tayman Street. That means, where is indigo? In Manila and also tayum in Ababe and Tigum in Davao del Norte. Eventually it was translated into Spanish as Manila. History. The earliest certificates of human life near modern Manila are the nearby petroglyphs of Angono dated approximately Ord year B.C. Negrito aboriginals of Philippines lived on the island of Luzon where there is Manila before the Malayan Polynesian people came to these territories and assimilated part of them. Manila was an active trading partner of the Chinese Empire of Sun, and after it the Mongolian Empire of Yuan. The Kingdom of Tondo prospered in the second half of existence of the Empire of Min as a result of direct trade relations with China. The city of Tondo was the traditional capital of the empire. Governors of the state of Tondo were sovereign kings, and not just breeding leaders. Tondo was known under traditional Chinese hieroglyphs on a dialect Chinese a Phallodirnanas. Through Pavids. Don. It is translated as East Capital, thanks to the geographical location located to the southeast from China. Addressed Tondo's kings differently. Panjanun on Tagalog. The Lord. Or Panjanuan on Marano. Anakbanda. Son of the Sky. Candle. Lord of the Palace. The Emperor of China considered Lakan governors of ancient Manila, that is Tsars. In the 13th century, Manila consisted of the strengthened settlement and trade quarter on the riverbank Pasig. Then it was occupied with the Indian-Nizravani Empire of Madhya as it is written down in the epic laudatory poem Nagarakirtagama, in which gaining this area by the Maharaja Hayamvurak was described. Celeron. The historical name of Manila is listed in the Song 14, along with Sulat, who is called Sulanao, and Kalka. Celeron. Manila. Together with Sulat, Sula, could restore independence subsequently, and Sula even attacked and plundered the province of Madhya Brunei, as revenge. During government of the Arab Emir, the descendant Sharif Ali, the Sultan Bolkiah, from 1485 to 1521, the Sultanate of Brunei, which separated from Hindu Madhya and became the Muslim state, intruded in this area. Brunei wanted to use the strategic provision Tondo in trade with China and Indonesia, and thus attacked its vicinities and based Muslim rats in that mind. Katsaludong. Razanat coped and annually paid a tribute to a Sultanate of Brunei as the satellite state. Brunei created a new dynasty under the leadership of the local governor who accepted Islam and became Razi Salalila or Suleiman I. It began trade war with already rich house of Lakandula in Tondo. Islam became stronger with receipt of Muslim dealers from the Middle East and Southeast Asia even more. Manila, before receipt of Spaniards, was a part of the Muslim world in which trade with the Chinese merchants and representatives from other countries of East Asia prospered. In 1570, Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, forced to recede from the island of Cebu under the pressure of the Portuguese pirates, arrived in the prospering Muslim city and decided to arrange in it the capital. To establish the relations with local authorities, at first Martin de Goiti was sent there. He tried to establish authority of the Spanish crown peacefully. The Raya Sulaiman, who ruled then, answered that not against to have friendly relations with Spaniards, but to submit to any other king is not in its plans. Conquistadors took then military operations, as a result of which forced Muslims to leave the city. On June 24, 1571, the conquistador Miguel Lopez de Legazpi arrived in Manila and announced it the territory of New Spain, having found its city council in the territory of the present area Intramuros.
Inspired by Reconquista, the war in continental Spain for a re-Christianization and return of those parts of the country which were once captured by Muslims, it used the territorial conflict between Hindu Tondo and Islamic Manila to justify exile or the address of Bruneian Muslim colonists which supported the Manila vassals while his Mexican grandson Juan de Salcedo had the affair with the Princess Gandara.
The overthrown Raya, Sulaiman, tried to get support of the Raya Tondo, by the name of Laikandula, Pampangan and Pangasinan, collected owned citizens, Tigol, and tried to enter fight against Spaniards. At Pancasay he was killed in battle.
Lopez de Legazpi executed Macarlicab, in whom the union between Dates Khwajas, the Japanese merchants, and a Sultanate of Brunei united to deal shortly with Spaniards and their allies from Visay expelled the local royal family after a plot failure.
Victorious Spaniards made Manila the capital of the Spanish East Indies and Philippines, which their empire will control within the next 3 centuries. In 1574 the Chinese pirate Limagon tried to occupy the city. At its order there were 62 vessels and 300 soldiers. But the attempt was unsuccessful. The governor Guido de Lavesaris and the officer Juan de Salcedo reflected attack of the Chinese-Japanese fleet, having only 500 soldiers. On February 6, 1579 the Holy See founded the Diocese of Manila. The bull Ilias Fulti Presidio of the Pope Gregory XIII.
Originally it was the suffragan diocese of the Archdiocese of Mexico City, and its power extended to all Philippines. On August 14, 1595 the Diocese of Manila transferred a part of the territory for benefit of the founded dioceses of Caceres, Cebu and Nova Segovia. All today archdioceses. And then the Diocese of Manila was brought to the Metropolitanate Archdiocese level.
Then, under the royal decree of Philip II Uspansky, the city of Manila got under spiritual protection of Saint Prudentiana and Tutors Mother of God, because of the Black Madonna found on the place of the sacred image of unknown origin. One theory is that it from the Portuguese Macau, another that it is the tantric goddess, and locals in a pagan and Hindu manner worshipped it and endured Islamization of a Sultanate of Brunei. This image was interpreted as having the Mariana nature, and it was found during Miguel de Legazpi's expedition, and eventually the Mexican hermit constructed a chapel around this image. In Manila, active work of Christianization of local population began. At the moment the city became the main strong point of Christianization of all Southeast Asia. There arrived missionaries, monks of different awards, Augustinians, Franciscans, Dominicans, Jesuits and others. In 1588 Augustinians constructed Malay Church in Manila. Spaniards established also commercial monopoly, having pushed aside from this sphere of Chinese.
In 1601 in Manila the seminary was opened for notable persons, which became the first educational institution in the country.
In the history of the city there was a short moment of the English domination when, during 7 Years' War, British captured him and held within 2 years. 1762-1764.
Soon after signing of the Parisian Treaty of Peace in 1763 they left the city, previously having managed to plunder it capitally.
During the next period the colonial capital was enriched with a large number of monuments. Public and private palaces, monasteries and temples. In Manila there was a first Asian university called in honor of Thomas Aquinas. There were universities in India and in the Latin American capitals much later. In the country, the new class of the educated people, educated, in other words, which is filled up from among Creoles, Métis and Aboriginals, was formed. At the same time, the liberal ideas which were especially quickly absorbed by educated people extended. Anti-clerical Masonic moods extended. The anti-Spanish and anti-colonial secret organization made of Masonic elements, mainly from representatives of the Manila bourgeoisie, was created. Such trends began to get into other regions of the country. The 20th century.
In August 1898, during the Spanish-American War, after fight at Cavite, Americans occupied Manila.
The Spanish fleet was broken in the bay. A part of the population supported Americans whom perceived as liberators in fight against the Spanish oppression.
But in essence, the American invasion was new option of colonialism.
Till July 1901, Americans operated strictly and despotically, by means of military force. However, despite it, among Filipinos they had supporters, first of all, the bourgeoisie. During World War II, Manila was captured by the Japanese troops.
After attack of Japan on Pearl Harbor, which happened on December 7, 1941, in the country, the adjusted collaborationist government, which residence was Manila, was created pro-Japanese.
At the same time opposed the Japanese invaders, both Americans and Filipinos. In November 1944, February 1945, soldiers of the Japanese Imperial Army arranged slaughter in the city and its vicinities, having killed about cart civilians. During the Battle of Manila, on February 3, on March 3, 1945, the considerable part of the city was destroyed by the American bombings.
On October 1, 1975, in Manila, the boxing duel between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, in whom Ali defended the champion title of the world, took place.
Fight received the name Thriller in Manila, and is the culmination of three-match opposition between Ali and Frazier. The 21st century. Manila is located in the western part of the island of Luzon, on the east coast of the Manila Gulf, approximately in 1300 km from continental Asia. The River Pasig divides the city into two parts.
The territory of the city represents ancient alluvial deposits of the River Pasig. The part of lands is won from the Gulf.
The square of Manila makes 38.55 km. And administratively is divided into 897 barangays. Every one barangay has the chairman and members of council. Barangays are grouped in 100 zones, which are also grouped to 16 geographical areas. These zones and areas has no form of local government. 16 areas in turn unite to 6 legislative districts of Manila. The city agglomeration including Manila forms the National Capital Region, the only region of Philippines which is not divided into provinces. Except actually Manila, capital agglomeration is made by the following cities:
Toluca, Navotas, Malaban, Valenzuela, Marikina, Pasay, Pasig, Mandaluyong, San Juan, Makati, Taguig, Parañaque, Las Piñas, Muntinlupa, Quezon. Environmental problems. The city strongly suffers from air pollution from industrial emissions and transport. Open dumps of industrial wastes also promote quality degradation of the environment. Several rivers within the city are considered as biologically dead.
One of the most polluted rivers of the world is Pasig, where, as of 2003, about 150 tons of household and 75 tons of industrial wastes are daily dumped. The backwardness of infrastructure of the city is a basic reason of pollution. The most polluted air is noted around Hermite. Climate of Manila subequatorial, with sharply expressed border between a dry season and a rainy season. The dry season lasts from the second half of December on May. The rainy season, the rest of year, peak it is reached in August, when in a month about 350 mm of rainfall drop up.
Average annual temperature varies from 27 C in December, January up to 30 C in April, May.
Being the center of the Archdiocese of Manila, the oldest in the country, the city is the house for a set of churches. Cathedral of the Archdiocese is the Manila Cathedral, a small basilica of Immaculate Conception. In the city there are 3 more basilicas: Quiapo Church, Swarty Nazarianins Basilica, Small Basilica Street, Lorenzo Ruiz and Basilica of Street, Sebastian. It should be noted also Church San Agustin, the oldest church of the country which remained up to now, which was constructed in 1607.
In 1993, San Agustin became one of 4 churches of Philippines announced by UNESCO Heritage Objects under the general name, the Philippine Churches in Baroque style.
Besides, in Manila is available several Buddhist and Taoist temples built by local Chinese community. Near Quiapo, where quite considerable Muslim community lives, there are a mosque at Dhaka, the Gold Mosque, and also the Green Mosque. Being the cultural center of Philippines, Manila serves as the house and for a large number of the museums. One of the most known museums of the capital, Tubacitsina, telling about life of the Chinese community of the country and its deposit to the culture of Philippines.
The Museum of Light and Sound in Intramurosa is devoted to the Philippine Revolution under the leadership of Rizal.
The Capital Museum of Manila contains a rich collection of the Philippine art, and the Museum of Manila reflects culture and the history of the city. It is possible to note also Children's Museum Pambata, the Museum of Political History of Philippines, the National Museum of Philippines. From other sites, the Park Rizal is interesting. It is located in the historical heart of the city. The park was the place of many historical moments, significant for the country.
So, on the place where there is a park now, the national hero of Philippines, Jose Rizal, in honor of whom the park and received subsequently the name, was executed for preparation of a revolt against the Spanish domination.
The park is remarkable. The Japanese and Chinese gardens, the planetarium, National Library, the Pavilion of Butterflies, Orchidarium, an oceanarium, the relief map of the country and some other sites are here too located. The flagstaff to the west from the Park Rizal serves as 0 km when digitizing distances in Philippines. From military constructions, the Fort of Dramas constructed by United States Army is of interest.
According to a census of 2007, the population of the city makes 1,660,714 people. It is one of the most densely populated cities of the world with population density 43079 persons/km.
At the same time, around No. 6 population density is reached by 68266 persons/km.
At the same time, population density of all Big Manila with the territory of 1425 km.
Only 14100 person/km make. The most widespread language of the population, Philippine. It is based mainly on Tagalog. English is widespread in business and the field of education. Migrants from different regions of the country speak various languages and dialects. The Chinese population of Manila speaks mainly Yushnaminski option of Chinese. Catholics make 93.5% of the population of Manila. Adherents of Independent Filinsky Church make 4%. Christ churches -1.9%. Protestantism -1.8%. The Buddhism -1.1%. Other religions -1.4%. Economy. Possessing a comfortable harbor, Manila is the main port of the country and one of the busiest ports of the world. The industry includes production of chemicals, textiles and clothes, electronics, food and drinks, tobacco products, plywood, copras, coconut oil, etc. The food industry, one of the stablest sectors of production. Center of the printing industry of Philippines. The city attracts more than 1 million tourists a year. Transport. Manila, the large railway junction in the system of the island of Luzon. The city is served by the International Airport of Ninoy Aquino, which is located in 8 km to the south from the city. As of 2012, its traffic makes more than 31 million passengers a year. There are 4 terminals, the second and third was opened in 1999 and 2008. The international flights in the following directions are performed: Beijing, Tokyo, Busan, Seoul, Hong Kong, Bangkok, Nagoya, Dubai, Honolulu, Singapore, Doha, Los Angeles. The city is also large automobile knot. The main roads in Big Manila have the ring and radial directions. City public transport includes buses, the subway and share taxis. Shipping. Education. Manila serves as the house for a set of the universities and colleges. Most the oldest educational institutions is located around Intramuros. Higher education institutions of Manila include Santo Tomas's University, Colegio San Juan Letran, University of Ateneo de Manila, University of the City of Manila, University of Manila, University of the Philippine Manila, University of Philippines, Polytechnical University of Philippines. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.